Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Eastern Lariat podcast. Your show for news, notes, reviews, and opinions on the world of Japanese pro wrestling here on cagematch.net. I am your host, STRIGGA, and of course, I am joined by Dylan on the other side. Hello, Dylan.
The other side. That's interesting. It's great to be here. My new tidings, of course. And not that dissimilar, when it comes to wrestling, places that we're from, places we're announced. That's where I need to be officially debuted from, I'd say.
The other side?
Yes, the other side. Not that dissimilar from the other world.
Depends on what the other side specifies, like the other side of what?
It's a separate alternative reality to Onryo's, where he's from.
Oh, all right. Yes, Unreal.
Yes. A tease for a future situation, which people will see at a later date.
All right. That is going to be dropping in a few weeks. And, Dylan, and of course, you to the listeners, you and I, Dylan, we talked about recording this show around 1 week ago. From when this will air right now. And we discussed, there's the King of Gate final. And so I said, it's a good opportunity to get back in the mix and to talk about Dragon Gate. And of course, we also talked about what you watched and what I watched, what we watched in the last couple of weeks to communicate about what we're going to talk about here on the show. And you said you watched this ZERO1 show from Korakuen Hall show, and so I also sat down to watch the ZERO1 show here.
And I tried to get you not to watch it.
I did anyway, because ZERO1 it's much like with you. I do have this soft spot for ZERO1. So I'm going to talk about that here in the beginning a bit. Then I watched Mr. Smack Daddy defend his GHC title against Kaito Kiyomiya. That ties together ZERO1 and a bit of pro wrestling Noah talk here. Also want to talk about All Japan Pro Wrestling a bit, as they are in the midst of their real world tag league. And my one note that I have about All Japan Pro Wrestling here is whatever the fuck is going on? ?
Such strong language.
I'm sorry. King of Gates is going to be a main chunk, I guess, of the show, and we're going to talk about the Wrestle Kingdom card at the end of the show, because I don't know yet when we are going to return with another show, because I have a shitload of work to do, another strongly chosen word here.
Sometimes you need to use these strong words.
I do. And so, yes, we're going to get in the mix with this show, Dylan, and first of all, this first advance to the Holy Land, to Korakuen Hall, for the reborn ZERO1 promotion. It's just incredible, right? This ZERO1 is just not able to just fold. It is a promotion that is unable to die, a promotion that is unable to journey to the outside, Dylan. When I'm looking at this card, most of this card seemed like it was on its way to go to the other side.
To bankrupting the company.
yes, because, man, there were 5 matches on this card, 6 matches actually on the card that I would say were, well, the women's match maybe not offensively, but the others were really offensively bad in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like even Mohamed Yone didn't really do anything for me. Mamoru Sasaki, he's not what he used to be anymore. I mean, he's 51 years old. That's fine.
I thought Junior showed the best that he could in a not good situation.
Yeah. What I liked about the Mamoru Sasaki and Tsukutaka Sato match was that Sato really tried to kill Sasaki with this one lariat that he threw against his shoulder section. That looked pretty rough. The Kuroshio Tokyo Japan and Mikiya Sasaki tag team, nothing for me. Kid Bandit on the other
Jesus
side and
Christ.
Takuya Sugawara, they couldn't do anything. It was a bad show. It was a bad show up until the two main matches where Atsushi Kotoge walked into Korakuen Hall, to the ZERO1 Korakuen Hall show with a Team Noah flag. He brought back the ZERO1 World title to Pro Wrestling ZERO1. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago. He was defeated by Masato Tanaka in about 15 minutes in a very hard-fought match. Headbutts, strikes, you know the deal with Tanaka and Kotoge. In the end, it was the sliding D. So Masato Tanaka is once again the ZERO1 World Heavyweight Champion for the 7th time now. And yeah, the company has their title back, Dylan.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, like I said, the undercard is horrible. Like, I don't think anybody should watch it. I did a full review of the show, even this horrible undercard, on the Patreon, by the way. So I was on the ball here with ZERO1. If ZERO1 will not get love that it deserves, I will force the issue. ZERO1 means a lot to me personally, obviously, so I actually legitimately do enjoy like talking about it, even though the show is so not great. But we did get to see Yasu Kubota again. Looks like he can barely wrestle anymore. No, and he was never good in the first place. But
also 51 years old, by the way.
Yeah, like he was. Isn't he one of these guys that started like super late too? Like I feel like he didn't get a major run until he was like 45 or something. And like major run, I said 0-1. Like so, not even that major. Because he had that push
in 2007, so in his late 20s.
Okay, so he started normal, but he never really did much. Like he was always in like super small, don't worry, pro level stuff.
Yeah. For the most part, he was an indie dude. He was. It was only when did he join ZERO1 actually? I think he joined around 2019. I think him and his brother joined ZERO1.
Yeah, and they had that very brief push a few years ago.
Yeah.
You know, like in ZERO1. I mean, this was at like, I mean, it was still bad. Don't get me wrong, but it was at the tail end of like before the company just totally before they split up, and there was so much strife within the company itself. You know, where the company was like folding into 3 different companies, and there was so much controversy, and it looked like the company might go down for good. But they did have a push there, you know, both as a team, and one of them, and I think it was him. I think it was Yasu, where he actually got a title shot after he saved somebody, like in a bus or something, or a train. Like he had some sort of act of heroism that boosted his popularity for a very brief period, and got him a 0-1 title shot. But yeah, so Yasu Kubota history right here, the Eastern Lariat.
About to find that out. Yasu Kubota.
Yeah, it may have been his brother for all I know, to be honest. But I vaguely remember something of this sort, where he got a title shot after. And if I remember correctly, I think the title shot opened the show.
It was actually on October 1st, 2020. He witnessed a man secretly taking a photo of a woman's upskirt at a station in Nagoya. He informed the woman when notified the staff and stood in front of the man contributing to his arrest. I guess
see?
That was it?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
So he did, and that was a very cool thing that he did, very good thing. And that was 5 years ago. And like I said, and it seems like they've just continued chugging along in 0-1. But his partner Yuki Toki was very good. I will have to say. I think he's got it.
Yuki Toki.
If you count Toki, Sato, and Matsunaga, those are 3 good pieces.
Oh yeah, I would love to see Yunya Matsunaga in other places.
Yeah, like all of them, I think could do good. Sato's been around for a while, but I still like him. Like I liked him in that match, even though it wasn't like any kind of great match. But he's still only like 30. Like so you got those are 3 good pieces to have. You got Hayabusa, obviously, but I mean there's work to do. Clearly, that's what this show showed. As far as the title match, it was good. I think there were some issues in terms of like the psychology of this, in my opinion, because the storyline is all over the place of this match because of what happened with Go, the title being up in the air, and it led to this match, which the story ideally would have been the ZERO1 guy heroically bringing the belt back to ZERO1. But the way the match was worked is Kotoge was an underdog babyface in this match.
Sure. Yeah,
Which-
that's the issue. That's the issue with him. It's hard for Kotoge. Has he ever been a heel?
in
right.
O-Pro, like Osaka Pro.
Yeah, I mean, yes,
it was
many years ago.
Yes, many years ago. But no, not in Noah. I guess they did when he was doing the hero character, when Congo first, the original formation of Congo was in Diamond. But yeah, like even then he was more of a comedic type of guy. But so here, this called for either, again, if you're going to do this, that's totally fine. Like Tanaka winning the belt. The thing is, I actually think Tanaka as champion doesn't do that much for anybody, really. But you know, like I mean, we've been around this road many times. They did build this up well. The match him and Hayabusa had in August was a fantastic match. Like that was a legitimately great match, much better than the first showings of Hayabusa. But like that was a fantastic performance, and they have a story going where Hayabusa is not beaten Tanaka, so it does make somewhat sense. But I actually think Tanaka means less than if Kotoge had won, or just really any Noah guy. It didn't have to be him. It could have been whoever they had. Like whoever they wanted to be the champion. I think that would have been more. But realistically, I said on the Patreon, if it were me, I think you've got lightning in a bottle with this Hayabusa thing. I would have set it up to where Hayabusa won the belt. Like like why cut through this? Like if that's what I personally would have done, like why go through the middleman? Because to me, I don't think Tanaka means that much anymore. And I'd rather just say, hey, this is the guy. Like we have our ace.
Yeah,
Hayabusa is here. He is our guy.
I'm guessing they started the Furin Kazan tag tournament just today as we're recording on December 5. I could see Hayabusa and Jinsei Shinsaki in the end become Intercontinental Tag Team Champions for ZERO1. Take the title off the Kubota brothers. They're champions right now, by the way. I could see Hayabusa and Jinsei Shinsaki become champions. I think that would boost some ticket sales for ZERO1 as well. So they could have that before Hayabusa eventually beats Tanaka for the world title.
Yeah, I that's fine, I suppose. But I just think that I would rather like nail down this is the guy. Like, like that's what I would have done. I definitely wouldn't have had him lose to Kaito. Like that would have been one thing I absolutely would have vetoed under every circumstance. Like if it were up to me. But in terms of the actual title match, it was good. It just didn't really fit the storyline going in, and I think it would have been better if they'd either they kind of portrayed Kotoge heroically heading into the match. You had the thing on Twitter with Marufuji and everything, like putting Kotoge over but taking shots at Go. And Go was like, "Yeah, I left. Let's not talk about that anymore." And Kotoge was like, "Oh, come on, don't be so hard." And I liked all of this. I just don't think it worked in the actual context of this title match at the end of the day. So the match was good. I just think the psychology could have been a bit better on there. But it was a worthy title match. And like, for ZERO1, like, that's all we really need at the end of the day. Like, and this was a good match. It was like like I said, I would say this and the main event were, like, not too different. Like, one, 3.5, 3 3/4 type of level.
Yeah,
that's kind of what the
around the same range as the cage match ratings are.
7.35,
7.94. That's good.
Yeah, and I think that's good for ZERO1.
Yeah, definitely. And main event, Kaito Kiyomiya going over Hayabusa with the skywalk elbow. Most parts of the match was about doing high spots. They did a great looking Frankensteiner. Of course, Hayabusa did his tope to the outside. Did his Firebird splash. Kaito came back with basically all of his moves he did on Hayabusa. Even the modified Tiger driver that he used when he was still being the green version of Kaito Kiyomiya, the heir to Misao one. But it had to be the Skywalk elbow. Of course, the Shining Wizard was part of the match as well. So in the end, it was a really good match with very good high spots. Two very good wrestlers doing their stuff here.
Yeah, the match was good. I didn't think it was great, but I
No.
thought it was good. And well, when we get to the Noah part, I'll have a similar thought on Kaito's other match. So I liked it a lot. I do think that one thing Hayabusa has improved at since we saw him debut earlier in the year, I think he's really gaining the ability to feel like a main event wrestler. Like, not necessarily his wrestling, but more so how he carries himself. Like, he felt like the star of the show, like much more so than the title match or anything like that. The crowd was into it, and that helped. And like, the thing is, the main thing of this show is like doing 1,200 fans for ZERO1 is a tremendous achievement in 2025. Like, it's not like if it were a New Japan or a Stardom show, it wouldn't really be big news. But because it's this particular company that runs shows in parking lots, like, this year they still do that. That's a huge deal. So it can only be labeled a big success. And they created a successful, like, it's kind of silly to say this, but like a dream match type of scenario between ZERO1 and Noah on this show. In a match that it's Kaito, so you can only say that for so much. But I just think that, like I said, my main issue was him losing. I would have tried to have, like I said, I mean, if you needed to go, like, Noah to get 2 wins, I would have had Kotige or any Noah guy win the belt and have Hayabusa go over someone else if Noah didn't want to job out Kaito.
Yeah.
I think the Hayabusa versus Noah thing was the real draw, more so than these two particularly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they could have done that with another star, like a Sugiura or somebody like that. Noah probably doesn't care about that much anymore. I would have had Hayabusa go over again. Like, that's just how I would do things. Again, I know that they've kind of told a story of Hayabusa where he's not quite there yet in the kayfabe world of things. He's not like winning big matches left and right. But I would do it. Like that's what I would do. Like, I would just have him win as much as I could. I would protect him and make him the ace of the company. And that's it.
And that's the thing about this entire company. They are struggling to do that because basically all of their guys lost on this show. Matsunaga lost, Sato lost, Yuki Mashiro, they are having her as her one woman, but she's always losing to the others coming in. They did a show today where Yuki Toki lost to Mount Sasaki, so it's up and down the card that is a problem for ZERO1. But
it's like they built it on, like, their big winner was 55-year-old
yes,
or
exactly.
however
That's how it's always been with the company.
That's true. Like, to be fair, like, that's not a new issue. But I think in particular this new version of ZERO1 that we have, I think they would be better to not be that way. The Shida and Mashiro match was funny because Mashiro being an underdog babyface is actually amusing to me. The Gacha King, like, very comedic wrestler. So to have her in this like earnest, heartfelt Hikaru Shida match, where Shida just wanted to beat her up, it seemed like, what was amusing. It was not a great match, I would say, but it was amusing.
Shida did not seem very motivated for this ZERO1 show.
I can't believe it. Like, someone not motivated. And I think that's the good thing about, like, if you look at ZERO1 over the year, because like I said, I do keep my eye on them always. Like, even at their absolute lowest, I have a connection with them. So I do always kind of keep my eyes peeled for them. But that is one cool thing. Like, through Kid Bandit, they've been able to find these, like, indie dudes that actually care about being, just for the fact that people like, Tankman, Shane Mercer, people like that have come through ZERO1. And I know that there was that report that Bandit was trying to get the ZERO1 people onto WrestleMania weekend next year, and I hope she does that. Overall, like, that would be great news. Because you've got, like I said, just look at those 3 names we said earlier. Those are good young talents that if they had more eyes on them, I think they would be people would like them. Like, if they were in a bigger company, if they had, and that's one thing I would also try to do. I don't know if Noah would be up for it. I don't see why they wouldn't, to be honest. I've seen their undercards too. We'll talk about it later. But if you could get some of these Noah guys, or these 0-1 guys on Noah shows, like even on undercard, like the younger guys, I think that would be great news for them, and I think the fans would like them because I think they're good. So like I said, I do have some issues, but to round this about to the main event, it was a good match. Again, I would have it at 3.5, 3 3/4 level, maybe 4 if you're being generous. Overall,
Thing about the main event is, could they have gotten anyone from Noah that Hayabusa could have beaten? And if so, would they have drawn around the same crowd? And I would say they would have, because
yeah,
this Hayabusa character is one of the main draws.
yeah, Kaito's not a draw at all. Like anybody could have done as good or better, in my opinion. Like,
and on the part of the draw, I mean, 1,245 fans. It's practically better than a lot of companies. You mentioned New Japan and Stardom, but it's better than most of companies in Japan these days. Of course, you could also exclude Pro Wrestling Noah. They also do very well in Korakuen in 2025. But for example, this show did better than the King of Gate final that we're about to talk about.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing. Like DG has struggled, in Korakuen and really everywhere. It's been a neutral year, I would say. I think Jay even said that himself when he was doing that interview. Like it's more like a neutral year than like any kind of success or necessarily bad. But I think that the moves they made, you want it to be more. Like I said, the average attendance this year is like DG in Korakuen is like 1,100. 1,157.
The opener of the Real World Tag League outdrew 0-1 by a bit.
But the thing is, the ins and outs and the specifics of it don't, like, the fact that 0-1's even being compared to this in any possible way in 2025 is a huge win. Like, for them. Like, it's a huge success.
Last year, their big shows were taking place in Shinkiba First Ring.
Exactly. Like, they were, like, less than Big Japan, like, for most of the last 5 years. And that's very hard, to be less than Big Japan.
Yes.
Like I said, they're doing shows in parking lots most of the time, like, dozens of fans. Like, it's not good. Like, there's a reason why the company went so far down. But to show this, it's like the news about TNA that happened the other day. Like, them getting a TV deal after all these years of being nowhere. It's kind of an inspiring story in a lot of ways, this 0-1 show. Like, the fact that they could go so low and still come back and through. I do think, actually, like, I think the Ghost stuff actually helped this show. Like, in terms of the title had much more interest because there was so much controversy surrounding that got talked about for weeks. And it all led to this match. I do think the title match was a part of it, too. Just because of the chaos heading into it. But really, Hayabusa being this level of star in such a small promotion, it's good. Like, it's such a great story that they were able to do this. And it's something that, because if I said this at the start of the year, before Hayabusa came in, and I said, at the end of the year, 0-1 will do a show that outdraws the King of Gate final in Korakuen. Like, I would have prediction. It would be like I would have been looked at like, what? Like, what are you talking about, man? And I wouldn't have been able to have any evidence to support that. I just would have said, I have a gut feeling. That's the only possible way it could have happened, because nobody would have realistically thought that. So it's a huge inspirational story. Still some work to do for the company, for sure, I would say. But I think that the fact that they even did this alone is like, this basically justifies the whole year. Like, as crazy as to say about like one above, like, pretty good Korakuen number, for this company, it means a lot. So, like, that's why it's so cool.
Absolutely, yes. I am unsure if there's going to be a Korakuen Hall show on January 1st. There is Otani 8. That is a show that is announced, but I'm not sure if that's going to be an actual 0-1 show. We'll see. We'll see about that.
Oh. Well, I hope so. I hope everything's okay and they can do some big things. I hope Otani is doing all right. Wherever he is. Yeah. His recovery is going well.
Yeah. Yes. Still not on the listing for for the ZERO1 page, so it might be a freelance show, however, for what I know. Yes, so Kaito Kiyomiya, main event of this show, and of course also in the main event for Pro Wrestling Noah's crossover just a couple of weeks ago against Mr. Smack Daddy Yoshiki Inamura in a very darkened Sendai Sun Plaza hall, and for a good reason, because this show tagged.
It looked like it was airing from the other side. So let's say.
Yes. So this had Yoshiki Inamura versus Kaito Kiyomiya. This had Hiromu Takahashi versus Kai Fujimura in the Noah Grand Prix final. By the way, a pretty good match. And it also had Team 2000X regain the GHC Tag Team title from Hank and Tank after their glorious 13-day title reign.
Big moves, people.
Amazing stuff here. We're back to Masaki Tamiya and Takashi Sugiura. Yeah, but the main event of this show, I don't know, man. We talked about Yoshiki Inamura a lot in the last couple of years. And we always talked about him very highly because he's an incredibly skilled wrestler. I've seen him for the first time in a singles match in a long, long time. And what I saw is a Inamura that I really don't like.
Yeah.
Because everything that this guy did in this match was theatrically completely over the top. He's right now choosing to display a character that is nothing that this guy does, Dylan, feels in any way organic, because everything that he does has this weird movement around it. He always does an extra jump. He always does an extra rotation with his arms when he goes for a lariat. I don't know how to pinpoint it, but it's not like he's in a real fight. I mean, it's like he's playing fight.
Like, the match was fine. Like, overall, like it wasn't like, the thing is, at their core, these two are extremely talented. I really want to make that clear with what I'm about to say next. Okay, like, these two are very, very good in the ring. Like, you see that, and like there's flashes of it even now. But the thing is, it's kind of amazing. Now, I think this show is proof, and like the early returns on January 1st weren't good. Even after Ozawa got announced. I just think that they've taken him in such a way to where, how could anyone buy him as a main eventer, like a champion? It's impossible. And I said it on the Patreon, putting Kaito in the main event is insane at this point. Like, there's no hype between these two. And it's like, it's bordering on, I think we're seeing, like, with this show, they are bordering on, like, the equivalent of Change the Channel heat. Like what I think with a lot of fans at this point. And it's a shame because Inamura specifically, Kaito, I think his story was, like, he was already doomed at this point. They need a complete reset on him, I would say. But Inamura, he's somebody that I thought when he was away, like, there's always that time, like, because he's been away a bunch of times now. Like, he's gone away to England and all these other places.
Yeah, this was the first time that he defeated Kaito Kiyomiya.
Yeah, his first time as champion over Kenta. And we talked about a little bit about that match, I believe, a little bit. And I wanted to give him a chance with this, even though at his face, it's stupid. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, this is stupid. And I think that's a big problem right there. And like you said, definitely not realistic or like anything at all. It's a guy playing a character. Anybody can see that. I wanted to give this a chance because I know how great he can be. But putting these guys in the main event, it just sucks. And there's no positive to be said about either of these two at this point in terms of a character. And I think that they need to, like, and they're not doing that. And we'll see how it plays out. Maybe things will rise up with Ozawa and they can make something out of it. Even his current version of a character, I mean, have you been paying attention to Ozawa? Like in the last couple of weeks?
Yes, he's been playing this. He's been wearing a white button-up shirt all the time. He
looks like a member of. He looks like a member of Bleach Japan. If you're a fan of Yakuza / Like a Dragon, you'll know what I'm talking about. But that's exactly the look he's going for, like a total, like, salary man type of deal. Who wants this? Who wants these things? Like, what was wrong with how things were?
He finally snapped at this contract signing the other day, Dylan. He hit Yoshiki Inamura with his crutch, and it became blatantly obvious that he has been playing his character all the time now.
Yeah, which we all do.
Shocking.
Yeah, the least effective rooster swerve we've ever seen. But it's just like who wants
on this match here? Still on this match, Dylan. Is this what NXT does to you?
It's not about that though. Because I think
he was about Cody and Inamura.
I'm saying it's not about Inamura. Like it's about Kaito. Like I would say, like more than anything, Inamura, his character, he was not like this in NXT. He was a tag team guy with Briggs, like carrying over.
Why is he like that now?
I don't know. That's the thing, and that's the thing. It's the same thing with these tag belts. Like it's the same thing we saw earlier with Omos. Like Nosawa is a mark. Like that's what this is really all about. Like he's a mark for shitty American wrestling.
Like you also tell Inamura to just say English words, like not even sentences, just put English words next to each other.
That's bad. Like I said, like that's totally bad. I don't know whose idea it was. It seems like he likes doing it. I don't think it's good though. Like somebody should tell him to stop. Like that's the thing. This should have never been allowed to even happen. Like no booker with any sense would have even greenlit this in any way. They would have said, "No, you're a badass." But that's not just him though. Look at this card. This is my problem. You go back to the tag match. The winners, like Hank and Tank, yes, they look like indie people I wrestled, and like they're not that good.
And they are called like indie people you wrestled.
Yeah, and the thing is though, they're not worse than the champions. Like the Team 2000X team sucks, and these guys are actually great, much like Inamura and Kiyomiya. They're great, but why do they suck so much in this Team 2000X gimmick? Like, all of their matches are bad. They do stupid shit in their matches. Who wants this? And, like, that's my number one thing about Noah, up and down. Like, outside of the junior title, like Marufuji in title matches, who wants this? Sugiura and Kitamiya as cheating bullcrap heels? Who wants this? Inamura as a cowboy speaking English? Who wants this? It's obvious the people running the company want this, Strigga, and that's why things suck so much.
And
I like Kaito as a. Well, what is Kaito's deal? Somebody who
he's the Matt Prince.
What does that mean?
I don't know. He has this 10th anniversary show coming up this weekend.
It basically just means. I think he's trying to channel what I'm sure a lot of people will know this and be familiar with a lot about the state. I think his idea of this is to try to channel Murder Ibushi. Okay, like the zombie-like state, but he sucks at it. like it doesn't play to his strengths at all as a wrestler, and it's not good. And the storyline doesn't make any sense, and they don't even know where they're going with any of these characters anyway. So why does it even matter? Some would say, because like I said, they could do stuff like the tag belts where they'll do something for a week, and then a week later they'll change it back, and who even cares? If Inamura is losing this belt on January 1st, by the way, I don't know if anyone needs to hear this, but this failure of a character will probably be dead after that. They'll go back to how he was, and he'll probably be a job guy again, like he was for 8 years before he went to NXT.
So on top of that, Hiromu Takahashi won the Junior Grand Prix, and he then called out Amaxa to challenge him on January 1st. Amaxa that lost to Tadasuke in the second round of that same Junior Grand Prix that I'm just talking about.
Sorry, Tadasuke. You're not big enough.
Sorry, Tadasuke. Yes, you're not big enough for Budokan.
Yeah, you're not big enough for Budokan.
But you're big enough to beat Amaxa in the tournament.
But Hiromu beat Tadasuke. Like, he beat him on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, this was good. Like, this made sense to me, and I liked it. And
I mean, sure, yes. Yeah.
Like, this was by far the best thing on the show, I thought. And the thing is, it's not even the match itself. Fujimura doesn't have what it takes, in my opinion, to be the champion or ace of the division or whatever.
No.
But they did a good job. Like, I think they did the best job they could. And I like it because they were like, okay, look, we could have gone with Tadasuke, for example, or like waste our time trying to do something with Junta, who will never be anything. Instead, they were like, hey, we're gonna try something new. And they didn't.
It helps to put these guys in the ring with Hiromu Takahashi, because whatever we think about Hiromu Takahashi's wrestling in 2025, he's still a big deal. And if you put
Hiromu's been great as champion.
Yeah. And if you put a Daiki Odashima in the ring with him, if you put a Kai Fujimura in the ring, it's going to help them nonetheless. That is the end of the deal. Yes, he has been good in pro wrestling. No, definitely.
Well, this for the final match wasn't as good as the Odashima match. That was the best match of the whole tournament. I would have loved to have seen him just go to the final and make that if I could have. But I like it. Like, Fujimura's been around forever, like eternally cursed in first and second matches. They started to do something with him and his brother. They had that really good match with Gopi Adoras a couple months ago. And I think that's really where he belongs. Like, do the tag thing. Like, I think they're a good team, but him as a singles guy, we've seen it. I mean, I watched every match in the tournament personally. I don't know if you did, but
no, I didn't.
Well, and that's fine. But we saw the difference between him wrestling Hayata on this show and him wrestling Hiromu, and it was a really big difference. I do have to say, but he looked okay, like pretty good against Kondo. He looked pretty good against Miyawaki. It wasn't great, but it was good enough. Kondo, he looked pretty good. And Hayata made me doubt everything. But the way they worked the final with Hiromu, I thought was really well done. And I think that they were able to get everything they could. And again, I'm just happy they did something and they didn't go halfway with it. To where they were like, okay, look, we're going to give this guy a chance. I don't know if he earned more than this, really. With his performance, but it was the best thing on the show. The fans were into it, and it was something nice to have a true underdog player. And Amakusa is exactly what I would have done personally for January 1st.
I mean, I think it's a good choice.
I think he's by far the best junior heavyweight they have, in my opinion. So I'm glad that he's
winning the title too.
It seems like a good place to cut it off. It's a shame because I think Hiromu's been so motivated here. And started to rub off a little bit on his New Japan stuff, according to others. I haven't seen the tag league, but they said him and no.
Good for you.
No, I said I would not watch it because it's stupid. Like the teams don't make any sense.
I know you said that, but I don't know.
Did you watch any of it?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I figured as much. But people have given good reviews to his team with Finlay, though, and I think that helps that Finlay's so great, to be fair as well. But it seems like he's more motivated now than he has been in a long time. And I think this Noah run has been fantastic. I think he's done great things up and down. And he's been a legitimate, like confrontational champion, like back in the old ways of when Liger was in Noah, which is one of the best.
It's a good call, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think he's been a great choice as champion. I think he's done a fantastic job, and if they continue it, I would not be against it. But I do think Amakusa is probably the best choice to win the belt off of him.
And they portrayed him as the dominating force here, both as champion and as the winner of the tournament. Then he attacked Amakusa from behind after the match. On English commentary, they pointed out their shared history together. They were in England together on an excursion about 10 years ago when Amakusa was still Kenbai. And that's going to be leading up to a really well built-up match for the Budokan show. Other matches that we have for that card for January 1st at this point is the GHC national title match between the brothers. Dragon Bane defends against Alpha Wolf. It's going to be a good match. Yep.
Yeah.
And of course, Yoshiki Inamura versus Osawa. I don't know about this card, to be quite honest.
Well, I mean, we'll have to see what they do.
What they put on what they had this time. Yeah.
The main event doesn't have a lot of buzz for me. I'm totally out on Inamura. Like, he's not a champion under this gimmick. Like, that's all there is to it. Ozawa will win it back, like I said, and that's fine. He should win it back, I would say. What else can they do? I'm really out on this tag champion team either, and it pains me to say because nobody loves Sugiura more than me, and I want to love everything he does, and I like Kiyomiya a lot too. He's great, but this whole push that they've done is just not it. Like, I just don't know. And Marufuji and Keno, I think, like, I mean, I guess they didn't announce it, but they've been building that very strongly. The only thing that can help this card from a business perspective is the rumored. I don't know if you read the article that Trish Spears put out last week about how Okada and Tanahashi came about. But there was a part in it where they're trying to get Tanahashi on this show and maybe Nakamura against him on the show.
Yeah, that was the rumor a couple of weeks ago too, yes.
And I think it would be great if they could do some sort of tag match between them, maybe even not a singles match. I
just don't think that New Japan would allow that.
I mean, it's not that they're, things say it's not them that's not allowing things. It's someone else, like another company.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. But ultimately, that comes down to New Japan laying down the law on that because of that.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I mean, like, maybe it'll be that way. Maybe Nakamura won't be able to do it. I mean, there was a lot of interesting stuff on that article. I really highly recommend people read it about Nakamura's contract with WWE and everything, and how this was pushed for by all parties except for one. Like it seems like, yes. But it's fine. Like, again, I'm not even hating on that. Like since Okada got announced as the Tanahashi guy, he's got great interviews. Tickets have moved. Like, it's a good match,
sure.
I'm not particularly interested in it on a wrestling scale. I think that his heel work is doing more because, but still though, it's hard for me to buy into that too much at the end of the day, because it's like, we know how much he respects Tanahashi in real life, and that this show is not going to end with them doing a ceremony and Okada attacks him in all likelihood and steals his retirement ceremony and beats up Muda and all this. Like, that's probably not going to happen. I would say it's much more likely Tanahashi gets an emotional send-off by everyone. But so, I mean, if they can pull that off and get Nakamura on the show, I think it would be great. I do think, regardless of Nakamura, Tanahashi should be on the show. Like, I in my opinion,
I'm guessing he could still be.
And he should, and then to me, it's not just here. I think he should do a retirement tour in every company. He just wrote a blog about when he was in All Japan in 2008 and how much that meant to him. And it seemed like they were trying to appeal. I mean, All Japan, we're gonna get into that. It's a crazy promotion at the moment.
Yeah.
But I if it was up to me, this all-time legend is retiring. He should be on as many major shows. Like, what a way to end it. If he was on All Japan, Noah's, and New Japan's biggest shows of the year back to back.
Yeah, I was just going to say, do the December 31 show for All Japan, then go to Budokan on January 1st, then do the Tokyo Dome show. Yeah.
And he would draw on all three of them. Like, sure. The way things are going. Like, this tag league's done unexpectedly good. Like, and many people have credited his last go-round, people seeing him one more time in these smaller towns, as a big reason why, and I think it's true. So I think that, like, the end is near for that, and we should try to squeeze as much out of that for respect for the business at the end of the day, more than anything.
Yes. Now that we're talking about it, I might as well just cross the Tokyo Dome card as it stands right now. Dylan, Wrestle Kingdom 20. We have a never openweight 6-man tag team title Tornado Rumble. That will, of course, include all the wrestlers that just don't get a spot on the card. Plus, Taizai Takechi will be in this match. Will be on the Dome. Not in this match, but he will be on the Dome show.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's interesting to see because he's obviously been a big drawing portion for DDT's Korakuen Hall shows that he has been on. He has been great. We've talked about that on this show. He's continuing to get better with the few matches that he has had. Of course, New Japan would really love to get this guy on their team, because with Tanahashi gone, they need as much drawing parts as they can get. And Takechi would be surely one of them.
Yeah, that's another, to kind of bring you back to what we're saying. Like, people can be like, if you're a New Japan fan, we can be mad at AEW all we want for various reasons.
Yeah.
But the truth is, New Japan would do the same to to other companies they were bigger than.
They did.
And they've done it before. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
And they may not be finished doing that. And he is near the top of the list of people you would want, even though he's like, he probably can't be a full-time type of player, at the end of the day, but he's worth having around for big shows intermittently. And who's to say? Like, who's to say they can't get him for a G1 if he were to, sign up for the company, like you said, if they get him on their team, as you said. And I think he'd be right in the top of the list of people I would want to be recruiting. I kind of floated Mao a couple weeks ago as people that they might want.
Yes, you did. Mm-hmm.
And I think and Takechi's an even better one because he has heavyweight upside. So, and just him being on the show is great. I think they're doing a really good job of making this dome feel like the biggest we've seen in a long time. And I think they need no help to their actual main event heavyweights. Like, to be fair,
it's for sure going to be the biggest Tokyo Dome show since Inoki's retirement. That is certain at this point. We'll just have to wait and see how many people they really get into this building.
Yeah, and it seems like they're going to pack every possible seat that they can.
And that's good for them. It's good, but...
not to mention the TV spot they have, too.
Yeah.
The primetime slot.
On the business side, everything is good for this show, but it really shouldn't blur their vision for what is going to happen in 2026, because they have a lot of rebuilding to do. When you look just like you said, with the main event, with the main event talent that they will have left then. But before that, IWGP and Strong Women's double title match, Saya Kamitani versus Shuri. We have a 4-way for the junior heavyweight title #1 contendership. Desperado, Ishimori, Fujita, and Sho. On this card,
match though.
No title match on this card because I'm guessing Doki has to defend the other title on this show, the junior tag team title. Iron Wolf going for the Never title. We talked about that a bunch of times in the last couple of weeks. Of course, the IWGP Heavyweight and Global Heavyweight Championship double title match. Takeshita versus Yoda Tsuji, second double title match of the show. And Tanahashi's retirement. So, safe to say that Tanahashi's retirement and the announcement of Okada drew the main portion of this card. Other than that, the heavyweight championship title match isn't really of a lot of interest when you look at the build-up for the show.
Yeah. Hey, who was in that? Who was on the 4-way match again for the #1
contender? Desperado, Taiji Ishimori, Kosei Fujita, and Sho.
See, so Doki can't defend the tag titles then. Sho's in that match.
Oh, that's right. Huh?
Doki's off the show, unless he's in a meaningless multi-man.
Maybe he's in the Rumble and becomes a triple champion.
A #1 contender match is more bigger than the title, according to New Japan. I told you they're sabotaging the division. That's true. I told you that. I guess the rumor on that has been that maybe the last match announced would be a Doki versus Hiromu, if they were able to get through that, like with the GHC and New Japan belts, like that. That could be something if they do that. And I mean, I don't know how they get to that because Hiromu's in the heavyweight tag league, but whatever. I suppose. Yeah,
he's in the heavyweight tag league too, and he's in the junior contendership match here. It doesn't mean anything.
And that's the problem. None of this means anything. Well, like you said, really, this is Tanahashi show. Everything else is far secondary. The junior title is level Y on 26 levels, I would say. It's so far down, it doesn't mean anything. But the heavyweight title is definitely secondary to the Tanahashi match. And I mean, it's going to be bad because I think, ideally they would be able to focus on their guys, going forward. Like you said, and build something so it's not just a one-note thing, but it's kind of feeling like this is going to be, all about Tanahashi by the end. And maybe they'll do a thing at the end where maybe Tsuji gets his blessing, which they kind of did already with the other match, Power Struggle or whatever. Or no, Tanahashi's anniversary show at home, or his last homecoming. But maybe that's how it ends. You know, he's like, he gives IWGP title to Tsuji, and he says again, like, oh, you can trust me with the future of this company. And Tanahashi's like, I don't know, but okay. Like, but no, it should be a good show, though. I will say, like, you know, from a wrestling perspective, they've got good matches up and down. Takechi's interesting. It'll be interesting if they pull off the women's match as expected, because, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, they do have her versus Ano at the end of the year, which a lot of people are speculating about a potential title change. Which I mean would be interesting, I suppose. I mean, I would. It's just like Hayabusa. Like, my way of pushing stars is like win everything. Like, I have the most easily minded ace push mindset. You know, like that.
And it's
how do you win all
always
the
been
belts?
what worked. Look at
Yeah,
Okada.
well, that's why I feel that way, because that's how it always worked. Go back
Look
to
at
Misawa.
Okada and look at Kaito. Look
Go
at
back to
Okada,
Inoki.
Look at Kaito.
Yes, exactly. Like the somebody who wins all the time versus someone who loses a bunch. Like, who is a bigger star? But yeah, no, it's not like, you know, and that's been how it's been through the history of wrestling. You know, pretty much, especially Japan, all the way back to Ricky Dozan's era, to be honest. So like, he wouldn't even lose; he would double cross someone before he lost and became the biggest star of the world. So like, that's what I would do. But I wouldn't mind it. Ano deserves it. I mean, her work level, I suppose, is up there. I mean, her star level, she's been around. Like, that's really the main thing. Her year's been okay. I wouldn't say it's bad. I think some people are kind of too hard on her. But it hasn't been great. But still, it's fine. I'm up for it. I would have preferred Poi if that's what they would have done. But we haven't got there yet. We'll have to see. And if not, Kamitani just winning all the belts is totally fine. Like, I think that's a great way to end their spot at the Dome. Have her close out with Tanahashi's retirement celebration. Have her hold all those belts up, like, and look like an ace champion that we all know that she is. So I think that's great. And so yeah, the card is good. Like, you know, I would say, like, right now, I'm sure they'll do some kind of rumble or like some kind of major tag match to get a bunch of people involved.
Yeah, that's like I said, they do the never open weight 6-man tag team rumble.
I guess they could do that too.
Oh,
like,
that's announced. It's announced.
Oh, okay. So that should get a bunch of more people in it, I suppose.
Yeah.
There. So yeah, but that's a good card.
Is Bishamon winning the tag league?
That's who I picked at first. I think it would be disappointing if they did.
If Hiromu is wrestling for the junior title, it crosses out his team. Yota is wrestling for against Takeshita, so that team is out. Evil is on the card already. That team is out. Despy is on the card already.
What about Shota and Waimura?
Yeah, Shota Noromura. Yeah, that's the team.
Yeah, that's who I wanted to win.
Circled. Yeah, and they didn't do a turn yet.
And they wouldn't do it until the last day, but I hope that they don't. Like, I if it were up to me, they would win, because I think they have great. Like, them as a team is the best thing that can happen to either of them. In my
if
opinion.
they were wrestling the House of Torture on the last day, I would say there is a possibility for the turn, but they are wrestling Yuto Ice and Oscar on the final day of block action.
Well, that to me makes it much more likely, because like they have to protect Yuto and Oscar.
Yeah.
And they've already done that title match too. Like, that's another thing that hurts them winning. It wouldn't be a fresh match. So I mean, but like I said, I'm still hopeful. I think they have a much brighter future as a team than singles, in my opinion.
Yes. All right, now we have already talked about the Tokyo Dome card. That's great, Dylan. We're gonna venture to the topic that I was originally going to talk about, but Tanahashi, of course, is much more important. So we got to that. All Japan Pro Wrestling is really in some trouble right now with the way things are going for the company. I've watched all of the tag league matches that All Japan has done.
Yeah, me too.
And much like the Hokkaido tour they did, this tour is really dry. There is few things that really get you interested. The level of wrestling is sometimes pretty good. Most times it's alright, solid. There is nothing that jumps off the page for All Japan Pro Wrestling at this stage of the year, and they have their Yoyogi #2 show to promote at the end of the year, where they are doing a story that Jun Saito and Yuma Anzai are now having a debate basically at every show who is going to wrestle Kaito Miyahara for the Triple Crown. They haven't yet made the decision, if I'm correct. who is going to be that. It's an interesting choice because it basically comes out of the blue, especially with Anzai, that he's going to challenge or that he has interest in challenging for the title because he was going to be in the tag team with Yuma Aoyagi. Jun Saito, on the other side, he has been winning a lot lately. So I'm guessing that the plan was to go with him all along. But now that Yuma Anzai is free from his tag team with Yuma Aoyagi, I guess that they put him into this role to also be a contender for Kento.
I don't really know what they're going to do with this end of the year Kento thing. I will say there was an extremely amusing interview Kento did recently, where he basically buried Ozawa in Tulsaya for like his whole point was like, I should be the Tokyo Sports MVP because I would never stoop to lying or try to get the fans. I would never stoop to getting people to vote for me to the press. And he was like, you know, Hogan, my hero Hogan would never lobby the press, and they're doing it now. What's wrestling come to? So Kento was very funny in that. As far as Anzai and June, the thing is, ideally Anzai would be great if they had built to it properly, but they didn't. So because everything's been so weird, it seems like they're kind of trying to accelerate that, and I feel bad for him because he did nothing in this whole situation. Like he did nothing wrong at all. And he continues to end up like, and it kind of scares me because he was on such a great path early on. His title run was a big success. Everyone loved what he was doing. People were talking big about him in Japan, across, all over the world. Everyone loved him. And it really reminds me a little bit of Kaito, honestly, because when Kaito had his original run, it ended with that great return to form against Kento, then the Sumo Hall for the first time in all those years, and they did a great job. And then ever since then, they pulled back. A lot of weird stuff happened, and we're here where we are now 5 years later. And with Anzai, it's like you had this great run, and then you pull him from the tour for 3 months, for the company for 3 months. You haven't missed the tournament. We don't know what happened or where he was. And now this. And now he ends up with another break of bad luck that, again, he had nothing. It wasn't bad luck. It was bad decision on someone else's part.
Yes.
But it wasn't his fault. And he stuck with kind of consequences. And now they're trying to fix it. Probably as an act of faith to him personally, first of all, because they know he's in a bad spot, so they're trying to make things better for him. But it's just not good from a narrative perspective at the end of the day, and I think it really devalues this whole whatever title match this is going to be. I think will be lesser than what it could have been.
Yeah, especially if it's going to be June again, but after last year too.
That's just not interesting.
Exactly. I don't know. I mean, Yuma dropping out of the tag league, dropping out of the tag team with Yuma Aoyagi could really be a blessing in disguise, because that guy should really be a singles guy. He shouldn't be a tag guy. And
yes, that's true.
And him with Yuma Aoyagi, there really was. He was on the verge of becoming a fool like Yuma Aoyagi is. And I'm just hoping that he's able to go back to where he once was as the true ace, or the true inheritor of the ace position from Kaito Kiyomiya. I don't know why I keep mixing up Kaito and Kento all the time here. And
yeah, they're totally different.
They are no
no, they're totally different in every way. I will say this. My hope is that this whole situation can maybe be a wake-up call to Aoyagi.
It should really be a wake-up call for the entire company, because if you look at this company, at the beginning of the year, we were still hopeful that this company would have a good year. We had this, even in the middle of the year. Do you remember in June and July, we had this amazing junior league that ended with a great success for the final.
Yeah.
But the second half of the year has been disastrous for this company. And much to the decision making that this company has been, the talent the talent that this company has is still as good as we said last year when we were hyping up All Japan Pro Wrestling. But talent alone can't fix it all. The decision makers in this company obviously have made bad decisions in the past, and the leadership of the company obviously has some issues as well, because the stuff keeps happening with talent on this company, with guys behind the curtain. It's just not looking good.
Look at what we just talked about with Noah. Like, all of those guys we mentioned have great talent, but they've been led astray. The leadership is so bad that it makes you not even want to watch these guys anymore. And that's crazy. As far as Aoyagi, what he did was bad, for sure. It was like a very bad decision. I don't think it makes him the worst person ever or anything like that. I think he made a reckless and poor decision. And thankfully, it seems like everyone's okay physically in that. I don't think it's something he can never bounce back from, in my opinion. I think he can, but on a personal level, I hope he gets things together. And he was really admonished by a lot of the roster on Twitter. People were talking about, people were very disappointed in him, and I was too. But it's not like I know these people personally or anything like that. But I really was disappointed that he did do that, and it's kind of one of those things I think we all take for granted about just being on the roadways in general. If you're not careful, one mistake can send people to the hospital or even worse. At the end, so that was a major. You can't afford to make these kind of mistakes driving like that. So I think the company did a good decision. Some people said it was a little harsh for the 3-month thing, but I don't. I think it was a good decision. Actually, I think it's actually good for him personally.
I hope it's good for both parts, because the company really should know how vital Yuma Aoyagi should be as a top guy for the company. And like you said, maybe he can also get things together.
Yeah, and I hope so. I've heard nothing bad about him as a person before. He's obviously
not about him as a person. It's just about a bad decision that he made, like you said.
And I think he's obviously a big personality, and much like Inamura, like we talked about, he very likely wants to do that crazy ass character that he's doing. Aoyagi wants to do this crazy stuff that he's been doing. As much as I personally may not like it, and as much as we may see the talent that he could have, and that first title reign felt like the peak of him. And the thing is, Strigga, you and I both said. You may have made this point, but I definitely agreed with it. Whatever it is, we agreed. After what happened with him getting undercut twice, as the champion, with Nakajima and Davey Boy, can you really blame him for maybe back a little bit?
No.
If you're, if you're putting you're putting your heart and soul into a company, which he was. He was a great champion that first time, and a great wrestler long before that. He was arguably the best wrestler in the company before Anzai showed up, pretty much. But he was arguably the best wrestler in the company above Kento for years. But you're putting your heart and soul into this. The fans love you. You're a great champion, and then it gets yanked away twice in a row. If the company's telling you what they think of you, you're going to start to believe it. And that heart and soul you put in before, that might just go away eventually. And that shows you how bad this company's been managed, that we talked about. With this president that's made mistake after mistake after mistake, Strigga. It's not just one bad thing he's done.
No.
It's constant. And that's why I think him and a lot of others, because like we talked about, Anzai could have been headed down that road to not putting in as much after what's happened this year. He's been significantly de-pushed from where he was. Could we see a future where he becomes how Aoyagi is, and so much potential gets wasted? If it's not them, it could be any number of people on this roster, even Ashino. And now his team is doing good, like him and Go in the tournament. I will say that.
His team is doing good, and the entire Havoc act, that is really working well for All Japan Pro Wrestling. You have to say they are doing well, and they are putting everything behind Havoc. That, on the other side, you never know about these guys. You never know about these NXT guys or the former NXT guys. If they get a call back, they will just vanish and the act will be gone.
Yeah.
That's the bad part about it. But you practically have to run with it because there is really few other stuff that they have that they can run with.
The fans love them. Like, that's been proven. I'm still not a big fan of particularly Go in this gimmick. I guess I would describe them as like House of Torture, but replace the heel spots with just goofiness, like pretty much like that, because they don't really cheat or anything like that.
No.
But they're just weird. like this whole group is just weirdos. It seems like, but for some reason the fans just love them, and I think they work really well. Like, it's especially Go and Ashino as a team. And that's the thing. I think another thing I would have changed is like Go should have been challenging for the title at the end of the year. Like, they should have just saved that match for the end of the year. That would have saved so many problems that comes along with all of this. They could have gone with anybody on that October show and just had a good title defense for Kento at the end of the year. Unless they have some kind of secret plan we don't know about that has yet to be revealed. Which, I mean, like I said, secret plan could be something that is dreamed up tomorrow by the president, like for all we know. So, but the work in this league is pretty good up and down. It's not like it's bad, but what you said is true. Most of it is just dry. Like Tamura and Sato, perfectly good team.
Yeah,
but
more bad faith actually for All Japan, because it was supposed to be Daisuke Sekimoto teaming with Tamura. Obviously, Sekimoto had a broken foot. He was out for a while. He's going to be back. He just was announced to be wrestling on the final day of the River Tag League.
Yeah, so he'll be back. I mean, the same probably would have been true with him, man. Like, I think it would have been similar, where it's like they're having good matches, but there's not a lot of juice with this team overall.
Yeah.
Like, even like who would be the
trying
MVP?
Something with Tamura and Sekimoto.
It was good. I just don't think they would have done much, like, in terms of like exciting tag matches. Not just because of them. I just think like the roster, how it is, I think is going to be tough to get more than what we've gotten out of a lot of these pairings. Because, like I was going to say, like, who would be the MVPs of the tournament so far?
It's hard
like, they're all kind of the same. Like I said, they're all kind of the same level. It could have been Tamura and Sato. It could have been Mashimo and Hideki. I did think that they did a brave thing. It's unfortunate, obviously, because this was before the thing happened with Aoyagi. But when they had Atsuki and Hayato win, I thought that was a good start to the tournament. Like, you had a major upset. And I thought they did good to elevate the whole junior division by having them go out there and do that. It remains to be seen how far they'll go as a team.
Yeah, on the other hand, Musashi and Seki Yoshioka have picked up their only way by countout.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, but even still, it's like one has 4 and one has 2, isn't it? Like we're at right now. So we'll have to see where they go at the end of it. But they're wrestling good. I just don't think there's a lot of juice in this real world tag league. I do have to say. And like I said, that stuff with Aoyagi was the most talked about thing of all of this, more than any match or speculative final. And hopefully they can sort this out by the end. I don't really have a grasp on who would win. I would probably say Go and Ashino would be the favorites. But I don't think it'll be Davey and Kento, because Kento's the champion. As it is.
Shotaro Ashino's the champion too, but it's only the Gaora TV title, so that doesn't really matter.
What about the thing with Nomura, where he had that thing where he put out where it looks like that his time could be coming to a close in All Japan?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's unfortunate. Really unfortunate.
That shows you where this company's at, right? Like, that is all you need to say. The fact that they aren't offering him everything they could possibly offer to make him a contracted talent is insane. Like,
it's just, when you look at the guy, he has everything that a pure wrestler for an All Japan company should have, but it's not the company that is looking for a pure wrestler.
And that's exactly true.
And that's on that matter. I'm just looking at the standings, and it could very well be that Red Ayabe and Talos in the end.
I like them. I think they're a good team, actually. Like, I think this is the best
They're
use
good.
of I Talos is kind of the man. I do have to say. Like, I've been impressed by him constantly. I didn't know that much about him when he came over, but I think
I've
he's
never
really
seen him
integrated
before.
himself. I know he was like an NWA type of guy before, but that is one thing you do have to say about All Japan consistently over the past few years. They're always getting these hidden gems, that people wouldn't think of and bring in. It's not just the NXT rejects, but the people the deep diving people, even up to like Aigle Blanc is somebody
Yeah.
that nobody really knew about. Like, but they got something out of him, and him and Mike D obviously moved on, but they got something good out of these guys. And Talos looks like another guy where it's like, hey, they found this guy with a lot of upside, as it turns out. And I think he's brought and Ayabe, I've not been a fan of at all for most of his career. But I think they work together as a team. I think they actually do carry themselves well as giants too. And I think eventually, if all goes well, they could be a great like force type of team, overall.
Carlos,
Yeah.
Talos is doing what I thought he would be doing. He's helping Ayabe to move around like a tall guy.
And I think that's great. And that's something Ayabe never had, really. Like, coming in out, they had him, the big dog
weird.
early on.
Exactly. It's weird because he teamed with the big dog.
Yeah, but that wasn't, that didn't go that far. that didn't last that long. He's too busy in bigger paradises now in New Japan right now. But a lot it wasn't really his fault. Like, a lot came into that. We don't need to get into it. But regardless, him and Tal, like, for years now, he's been kind of on his own doing this fake Rainmaker crap that kind of sucks. And now they've got a much better position for him with Talos. So I like the team. If they do win, I got no problem with it, to be honest. But I do think they're a little bit away. If it were up to me, I try to give them a little bit more seasoning I'm really more Ayabe specifically. Let them gel a little bit more as a team, then give them a big win next year. You need to have Go in a big match, in my opinion, the final show of the year.
I would also do that, yes. All right. Is there anything else that you wanted to point out on All Japan Pro Wrestling?
No, just like you said, it's been a dry tour so far, but it's kind of the thing is, though, yes, I mean, this has been a more controversial year because of the Aoyagi thing, but realistically, it's kind of always this way the last few years with the Real World Tag League. It's always kind of dry, and we just have to hope that the end of the final match of the tournament turns into a major one, like a very memorable one.
Yeah. All right. So, one of the guys that All Japan originally brought in, and one of those completely under the radar guys that you mentioned, Dylan. Talos was one, Aglabalol, Mike D, of course, known in Europe, but not really anywhere else. And another one from Europe that was brought in to All Japan Pro Wrestling in 2018 by Tajiri is now the King of Gate winner. As of course, Gianni Valletta, Dylan.
Cool. I think you're thinking of the Ricky Dozan of Malta, actually.
Yes. The person that brought wrestling to the island of Malta. And who would have ever thought? You talked about making predictions, Dylan. If anyone would have made the prediction at the beginning of the year that Gianni Valletta returns to Dragon Gate to win their annual tournament, they would have been deemed crazy as well. But not only did Gianni Valletta return to Dragon Gate, not only did they find a team and a stable where Gianni Valletta works, not only did Gianni Valletta have a couple of good singles matches this year, but Gianni Valletta also had an incredible final match with Ishin in this tournament. Dylan, I don't know about you. I watched this match just on the day that it happened, not live, but in the evening hours, and I adored this match. And it's great that they put Ishin in this situation because it created one of the most unlikely situations that you could ever have as a company that's Dragon Gate. You have two big guys in your final, and neither of them is a babyface, actually, but they pulled it out of their head that Gianni Valletta became a babyface in in this situation against Ishin. They threw big bombs, and in the final couple of minutes where they exchanged lariats and where they exchanged big moves, it was amazing. The crowd was into everything that they did here. It was a great piece of business from Dragon Gate, and that differentiates this company right now from what we talked about with All Japan Pro Wrestling earlier, because they have a leadership that actually does know what they are doing.
Yeah, I honestly have some mixed feelings about all of this. I did like the match for sure by the end, and I thought it was like you said, very impressive that we even got to this point. Like, you know, at the end of the day, the fact that this even happened is an achievement in and of itself, pretty much. And I liked the match. Like, it worked at the end of the day. And I was honestly, because I watched this whole thing, like, you know, and I was really doubting this. Like, when Ishin won the semifinal, because I didn't think the Valletta and Rita match worked at all.
I was really surprised that Ishin won. Really surprised. It cut off Yuki Yoshioka's great run, and we talked about that we might have talked about it off the air too, that we were thinking that Yuki Yoshioka should really end Kikuta's reign right now. But it was definitely a surprising finish, and helped Ishin to gain more momentum, I think, because he has been great in this final.
Well, yeah, and I already knew he was great before that. And that match was good. Like, the Ishin and Yoshioka match was good. It was really more so the Valletta and Rita match, which I thought was
that didn't work.
Yeah. Like, to be honest, and it's a shame.
It's a match that looked fun on paper, but not good in execution.
Yeah, exactly. It was one of those things where, okay, this is a moment. Like a moment in time that this match is happening, and it just.
For example, Valletta in the first or second round, he defeated Dragon Kid. That worked much better as a big guy versus small guy match.
Yeah, but yeah, it was the first round. Yeah, but yeah, so like that was okay. Like, it still wasn't great. And the thing is, Valletta, he's just not great. And at the end of the day, like, no matter what, and that's kind of my issue with this. I thought this was a good match, probably Valletta's best match, I would say. Like, you know, like that he's had. I think the final was the best match, and it shows how much Ishin's grown over these years. I remember his big breakout versus Yamato, like, which I would say is Ishin's best match. But,
yeah, I said it on Twitter that this one was either guy's best match with both Ishin and Valletta, but thinking about it, it was Yamato versus Ishin that was Ishin's best match.
Yeah, no, this is up there. Like, this was a great. This may have been Ishin's best performance. Let's put it that. It may not be a better match than the Yamato match, but I thought he made this. Like, and we saw the difference between this and the Rita match, and Ishin made this. And I think Ishin is such a complete package too, because he was in a very enviable spot here, where he basically is the guy that is the big guy in most of his matches at the end of the day. But here, he really had to work overtime to sell Valletta. And I thought he did. And by the way, I thought Yoshioka did a good job against Ishin as well, kind of in a reverse role, where they were able to really make it and bring it to a 50-50 spot to where Ishin wasn't so dominant. And it set up this final match very well. So I love the psychology of the Ishin and Yoshioka match as well. But the final match really stole the show, and I think Ishin did a lot here. So here's my problem with it, though, Strig.
I know where the problem starts, so go on.
Yeah, much like everything else, my problem is with this company. It's who he's facing after winning this match.
I know.
And I really feel like there's so much, like, it's amazing how much this reign is mirroring Luis Montes to me. Because we're at the point where you had a weird, like, start. And it was a guy, with Monte, it was kind of worse because it's like, okay, we all kind of thought this is the guy. After he lost his mask, he felt like a major player going forward. Kikuta had a weird start in that his role was initially Minoura's, in all likelihood. It's just, the problem is he overshadowed Minoura a bit, and they made the decision, or maybe they just didn't believe in Minoura as a leader of a heel faction. Fine. Like, no arguments from me on that. So they made the decision to turn Kikuta in some really not great narrative ways, in my opinion. I wasn't a big fan of how they handled his turn narratively, again, over Yoshioka, and they kind of just dropped everything about that, which we will revisit later. But, so we're going on this run, again, much like Monte. He was a guy, when he won the title, I think we're all ready to give this a second chance with Kakuta. That's a big difference right away. But they start off this kind of lame reign. He has a new faction, just like Monte. He had to change to, Big Hug during his title reign. And now Kakuta had to change to this. But to what he's doing now from Z-Brats. But as good as, we've seen from Ishin, as good as Valletta was in this tournament, and as good as Saipatra's been as a team, and as good as the rest of Gaja no Koro has been, I think him as champion, we're at the point now, basically the same as we were at Dead or Alive when Monte was the champion. And who did he face? Gianni Valletta in this match. And the thing is, that was kind of the death knell of Monte being, I guess, viewed as a successful champion at that point. It may have been before that, honestly, but it definitely was then. And I'm just wondering, Valletta, I think there's a context and a time and a potentially part of our lives where him challenging for the Dream Gate is the right call. Is this what this current champion needs to be doing? To face Gianni Valletta in a singles match? Is that what he needs? Is that what this company needs right now? I would say no, Strigga. Like, honestly, I think they found a great usage of Valletta in Saipatra. Like, his turn angle was great. And I think if we had a normal level of a champion, or a great, not a normal level, but a good to great level of champion, I would be up for this because his turn worked. The crowd loved him. Saipatra is a totally effective baby face. And like, they're kind of tweeners, but the crowd loves them. Like, at the end of the day, like they're baby faces to the fans. And it works. He's great at it. I would be saying, look, this is the most over he is going to be as a babyface. Let's just go all the way with it and see what we can get out of it. Like, what kind of juice can we get from this squeeze? I'm up for that. The problem is Kakuta as champion. What will this match look like? And what will the end result be for Kakuta after it? That worries me, Stringer, because I saw the end result with Monte, and I don't love it. I definitely didn't love that, and I don't love where this is heading. At the end of the day. And that's my only problem with this decision. I like it on every context, and I think the final worked, even though Valletta, he was up and down. And the thing is, you need to get the best usage out of him that you can. He's good enough to where you can get good things out of him. I don't know if Dream Gate matches is the way to go with him, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I fully understand that. Could be a way to prolong the story between, or the match between Madoka Kikuta and Yoshioka for maybe just a month.
Well, it is, and they have the big show in February this year, which makes perfect. Like, it makes sense. Like, all of this makes sense.
It makes sense. Yes, it makes sense. But still, I get that it worries you what the match is looking like between Kikuta and Valletta. Unsure about that. Because when I'm looking at this reign, we've talked about both of his matches with Benkei and with the Susumu Yokosuka, and they have been pretty good, but it's Benkei and Yokosuka, two of the best workers in the company.
And they weren't buzzworthy. Like, like even this show, it wasn't a great number at Korakuen Hall for this final game.
No, it wasn't a good number, and when you look at everything, it was a pretty good show.
I think I would have rolled the dice if it were me, because I like it. I like building your biggest possible match in this title reign is him versus Yoshioka. Okay, yeah, so I agree with that. So save it for the big February show. I think if it were me, what I would have done this tournament, and I'll let you kind of give your take on this in a second. I would have rolled the dice. I would have tried to formulate a situation similar to what we had last year with Daya and Yamato. Like a new underdog challenger. I would have gone with Rita or even Jackie Kame if you wanted.
I would have gone with Jackie Kame, I guess.
Yeah, like I said, either one. Like anybody. Like really.
Because Rita, of course, was an accident because Yamato injured himself in the match, or was injured in the match, and it had to be called off. So Rita was an accident. It wasn't supposed to be. It was supposed to be Johnny Valletta versus Yamato.
And that would have made a lot more sense.
Yeah. But I also would have made the call for Jackie Kama because he is having his best year, definitely. And
I mean,
it's a great reward for him.
I think they're both fine. I actually think Rita comes across like a little better than Kame a lot of times. And maybe it's just because Kame's gear is so bad, like on there. But either one's fine. Like, you could use either of those. I would have rolled the dice on one of them. Let's say Jackie goes in like you want. You do the 1 month kind of standoff with them, and you have a good storyline because either one of them, they're both a tag team. They're both tag champions. You have build-up matches. You could do stuff with that. You get the return of Ben K spots with Kikuta, which works well. You do a lot of cool things in that month that build to an true underdog challenger, and it puts over Kikuta strong. Like, that should be how it ends. Like, Kikuta destroying his opponent and building himself up as unstoppable for Yoshioka to chop down. Like, that's what I would have done here. And that's another thing. How are they going to work this match? Is Kikuta going to work as like an underdog against Valletta?
Yeah.
That goes against all of this storytelling that they've done so far.
I think...
What if they had done El Cielo in this role? Like, that may have been what I would have done, actually. Like,
that
have him run through the tournament.
decision as well to have Cielo drop out of the tournament where they did it. I think it's obvious.
Komari, but
I think it's I think it's obvious that they had to do some reshuffling. So Homare is out, and they had to vacate the Triangle Gate. Then Tanaka, he also was out and couldn't do his second round match.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, so they had to juggle a lot with this. You're right.
To juggle a lot. So it could have been that it ultimately came down to that one of the guys that they circled for the win in this tournament couldn't do it because he was out.
And so they picked his faction mate. Like, do it if that was one of them. Yeah.
Homare dropped out of the first round against Tanaka, but Tanaka could have been what Dyer was last year.
That would have been perfect. He's a perfect, a perfect person to do that. Like, we love his title reign so far. We've done nothing but praise him as Brave Gate.
And it makes even more sense because Kikuta then beating Tanaka would have created a situation where Yuki Yoshioka could come out and challenge Kikuta. But now...
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, absolutely. That would have worked so good, STRIGGA.
But now they have to take the detour where Yuki Yoshioka eventually takes his win back from Ishin and then challenges Madoka Kikuta for the title.
I'm looking forward to that match. I thought their first one was really good. I will say. But yeah, just again, we're talking purely from narrative perspective. There's a lot that could be a little better, but we do have to give them the benefit of the doubt with all of the people dropping out, like you said.
And so I think they made... I mean, the eventual title match, I don't know what it's going to do, how it's going to do it, Korakuen. Valletta is crazy over,
and like I said, I don't mind him winning on his own. It's just the title match it leads to, because like I said, this is probably the most over babyface. The angle worked when they turned. Everyone loves him right now. Like you said, he is super over. I get it. Like, I get what they're doing. I just don't know about how this match is going to be. Yeah, but on the other hand, maybe it'll be interesting. Like, maybe that adds more interest. Like, what is this match going to be?
I think so, because this match, it's going to have a lot of smoke and mirrors. Yeah, Homare was already out with... he's not wrestling, but he's around. He was out for the final match. Skywalker is going to be there. El Cielo is going to be there. Gajadokoro is going to be there. It's going to be a crazy match with all kinds of shenanigans. They're going to use the entirety of Korakuen Hall with the brawling style that Valletta has. So they're going to make that work. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt here.
It's something totally different for Kikuta as champion. So, I mean, I hope you're right. I hope that we come on here and I am saying, damn it, they pulled this thing off. Like, Kikuta overcame the odds and had an amazing performance here and looks like an even better champion than ever. Valletta delivered in his role. I think the fans will be into it for the reason you said. I think they're really into Valletta right now. I love the present. I just think Saipatra as a whole is like a totally winning combination, in my opinion. I love the entrance where they do the first entrance and then the alarm hits. Like during it's like, this is a main event level group. And all four of them, like all four of them are main event level to me. Like in my opinion, Homare is the youngest, of course, but even still, he carries himself so strongly. Like when he's doing the stuff when they do the crossover with All Japan, he's teaming with Anzai. Like they look like main event level players.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, like all Psypatra was a great group. Like I don't know who pitched this or who formulated the members, but this is a winning group, and it's one of the best they've had in a long time. And it's something we've said, Strigga in the past. I think it's something they needed, a new group that people can really buy into, because it's been so long. Like since we've had something like that, The Courage was years ago now, and we talked about it in the last episode. The lifetime of a group and unit in DG is not that long. Usually, it's not 10 years. Like there's been no faction that's really been like that,
unless you're Natural Vibes.
Unless you're Natural Vibes, of course. But again, I kind of made my pitch for why I think they're fine in their role. I just don't think there's more upside. There's no more upside to them, obviously, and they're definitely not a fresh group everyone can believe in, like Psypatra is. So I think it was a needed cog in this machine. Let's see where it goes. And like I said, I think I like your way of thinking. I'll try to be cautiously optimistic about it, even though, again, I'm not really in on Kakuna's champion right now. But I think this could be... Who could have imagined, Strigga? The thing that will make this Dreamgate run work? Valletta. like that's where we're at right now. And that's kind of cool. And I hope that it works out.
Yeah, that's where we're at with Dragon Gate. I loved it. I loved the final. Loved Ishin.
Yeah, it was good.
It was,
Ishin is the man. Like Ishin is one of the most improved players. Like we're heading towards the award season, but his growth is amazing.
yes.
Like he's become
also
one of the top players.
Yeah, he definitely is. Yeah, he should be up there. Other than that,
and by the way, Kato's not far behind either. Like that run is coming. Like he's got what it takes. I've said it all along, and I think that it's going to to be some really good stuff for him going forward.
Yeah.
What do you think of the decision of the? I just wanted to ask about the decision of the Triangle Gate League, like that they're doing.
I mean, it's good. That gives all these teams something to do, especially Natural Vibes. Yeah. That they can have something to hang on to. So having that league right now gives a lot of these teams something to do in a time where they just don't have that road to final gate that they would usually have at the end of the year. They just have this one last Korakuen Hall stop.
Yeah, no. So I think it actually, again, you have limits, and they're trying to make some lemonade out of it. So I do like it, and the teams are all good. I guess Gajano Koro would be the favorite to win.
I think so. The other team that I would say could be the Love and Peace team, Hio, Benkei, and Mochi Jr.
Well, I would be happy if Junior got a belt. Yeah. Like that alone makes me root for them.
I mean, it could always be Courage because they have never been Triangle Gate champions.
That would be kind of a good, like, if they do that, that kind of signals that this could be the last run for them. Like coming up next year, because we think that Yoshiko probably won the belt. It feels like this could be kind of their last run if they accomplish what they haven't done yet. And it would make sense storyline wise too. Like if they did it without Kakuna. So I like that idea. Like all of them are kind of good. Like, I would say like there's like any one of these teams winning would be fun.
There's no bad choice. There's no bad choice.
Yeah.
And that's signals that the company overall is in a good state when it comes to their core roster. Business wise, it's a different story sometimes.
Yeah, it's just strange. Like because I think they're doing a lot right. Like right now.
But they are so under the radar in a lot of times.
I know, and it's just weird how that is right now. I have to hope that, like I said, I'm hoping because when Yoshioka was the champion, they were better off. like that was really the last time they were like definitely positive. Like in terms of business situations. Yeah. And I think that him drawing, I hope that they can have that same magic again for round 2. Again, it's kind of hard to do a sequel, like for the sequel to be better than the original, but I hope that he could bring a spark back to the top of the card, because again, that's really the only part of the company that I even have doubts on, is the champion right now. But everything else I think is really clicking. Like top to bottom, I think you have a lot of good stuff. Jiro's emergence as the comedy guy has worked for me top to bottom. You got good stuff in the Twin Gates. You got a lot of good stuff going on. So it's a really good company right now. I just hope that spark propels them to the next level.
Just one final topic, Dylan, before we leave here.
Yeah.
Just want to go to Michinoku Pro Wrestling. On December 12th, they have their final Korakuen Hall show of the year, and of course, it's going to be the Great Space War. And this year, the Great Space War has a Tron theme, so the Tron movie series comes into play with this match. And there's some other very niche stuff that this match is apparently going to have. So, of course, the Great Sasuke is in this match. And this, if you have never seen this match, it is a crazy match where the ring is going to be dismantled, and eventually it comes down to the Great Sasuke jumping off a ladder in a barrel. That's the big spot every year, you know? And the match itself, it's not good anymore in 2025. They've basically done all what they can do. Sometimes they'll bring some funny stuff to the matches, but usually it's a long match. It's usually around 45 minutes, and not a lot happens for the majority of the match. We're going to see how this one plays off. So the match that we are having right now is the Great Sasuke teaming with Yapetron Ares, number 1, Yapetron Legacy, number 2. So that's the tag team, of course, the Legacy in the Ares movies. Then the Tower of Abdullah. So it's going to be interesting to see what Abdullah Kobayashi is going to be in this match. Is he going to be like a church kind of thing, or is he going to be a tower of a temple? We'll see what Abdullah Kobayashi brings here to the table in this match.
Maybe a clock tower.
Maybe clock tower. Who knows? And then Taro Nohashi is going as Yukio Nohashi. That's the one side of the team. And the other one is Brahman Shu, Brahman K, a wrestler by the name of Fatty Mouse. Then we have the
no relation to Teddy Mouse, I'm sure.
I'm sure. Then we have the third generation Elizabeth Tamasaburo 2. So I found out that this Tamasaburo 2 apparently is a kabuki who plays Shakespearean characters and favorably movie characters. It's going to be interesting who displays this character.
You won't be getting that info from the other shows.
And then there is a character that is the phone number of the Kuzo Chibi Expo Center in Osaka. That's supposed to be the wrestler that is the 5th guy on the team of the Brahman Brothers. There is a phone number of an Osaka Expo Center.
Genius booking?
I don't know yet. I have no idea. What's this going to be? The Great Space War airs on Samurai TV in late December. Check it all out. It has Mirai versus Taka Michinoku, so that's going to be a great match.
Yeah, Michinoku Pro, they've done some good things this year in general. I watched the show not that long ago, maybe a couple weeks ago now, where Pantera and Sunrise Tekka.
They drew a great crowd. Like 1,800 people.
Yeah, it was a great crowd, great match in the main event. Mirai and Iwatani were on that show, another really strong match. Even Yoshitsune had my heart, for my favorite Sugi.
Really good short match with the new guy on the roster, Tsunagu Sato.
Yeah, and I loved it because Yoshitsune was he was the man back then. Him and Fujita Hayato had an incredible match that was really highly thought of back then. They announced he's going to make an appearance too at the Great Space War, I believe. So they're doing a lot of good things. It's an interesting company, top to bottom, and I always supported these localized companies, whether it's this one, Opro.
Yoshitsune and Rase versus Ken 45 and Demas.
Yeah, see? Ross is another guy who's been around for years and years at this point. So a lot of guys from my youth hanging out in Michinoku Pro. I think
yes, that's true.
Yeah, and sometimes Fujinami shows up on there.
Sometimes he's not on this show. Though. Nope, he's not. Maybe he's the phone number.
I don't think so, but he was on that show that I watched, the one with Mirai and Iwatani and Pantera.
Yeah.
So it was good. Michinoku's Pro is good. I know that was like one of your big things back in the early days of the Eastern Lariat. Like that was when you really bopped on Twitter. Was like whenever this great space war would happen.
Yes.
Like you were really kind of like pushing that hard.
I will always retweet all the pictures that come up from the Great Space War, but they've done so many that it hardly pops anyone these days.
Well, that's the thing. It's like the magic kind of ended years ago with that. Like and that's kind of how it goes with these kind of matches. The first time you see it, it's epic and amazing. Occasionally they'll pull a new spin on it, but I think after 10 years or however long, it just doesn't hit the same anymore. But still, though, it's something, and it's a good company overall as well. So it's worth checking them out. You might want to. It depends on how much you get out of the Space War. But to be fair, I think there's a lot of people that maybe never saw one of those before. So
maybe,
it's worth checking out if you've never seen one. I would say.
Yeah, it definitely is. All right, so much for the Eastern Lariat for now, Dylan. It was great getting back in the mix with you. Hopefully, everybody enjoyed this show. That we talked about a bunch of different companies, whether they're bad, whether they're good right now. It always brings us together to talk about Japanese pro wrestling.
It's a great thing. Like I said, this pro wrestling like going on now. We're on a big part too. Like going into next year with this Wrestle Kingdom, with Tanahashi's retirement, with the end of the quarter century. I mean, this has been 25 years of this whole century. I really feel like we're at a major turning point in Japanese pro wrestling, like going into next year.
Yeah, with Tanahashi going.
Yeah, with Tanahashi going, we've seen people move around back and forth. People leave companies. Naito's not in New Japan right now. He's having problems with his management, it seems like. Recently, but a lot's been going on. Kenta moved back to Noah full time. So things have shuffled. And I think we're in store for a really big changing of the guard in general. I would say going forward, and I hope that it leads to great things. Because right now we're ending, like I said, kind of on a whimper more than a bang this year. I would say, but. You never know. Maybe one of these tag league finals really goes crazy. And we still do have, like, the big Stardom show at the end of the year is always, like, pretty strong. The last few years, it's been a strong contender for a show of the year. Maybe they could do it again. I don't think the hype is as high as it's been in a few years, I will say, for whatever reason. Just mainly because of bad booking, to be honest. But Ano's not the most exciting challenger. They're not building her up very well at all. You have the big All Japan show at the end. And Noah's right around the corner as well, although we obviously both have some problems with how they're handling things right now. But things are moving ahead. Hayabusa's helping out ZERO1. Can't wait to see what the future holds. And I really do believe that we're going to be in for big, big changes coming very soon.
Yes, that should definitely be happening, and we will be there for it to talk about it. And that is going to help the Eastern Lariat also to move to 2026. But for now, it's been it. This has been the Eastern Lariat for now. Thank you all for listening, and goodbye.
Sayonara.